Elizabeth Warren has framed her race in Massachusetts against incumbent Republican Scott Brown, Senator Brown, around integrity and intellect. She is a cut above. She is virtue, integrity. She is smart. Again, the reality, I appreciate her bubble, but the reality is a tad different. On top of fraudulently claiming minority Native American status in violation of federal law and without any documented ancestry, our Harvard law professor has now been busted practicing law in Massachusetts without a state license. And worse, this is where it gets fun, her client list includes the type of corporations that Elizabeth Warren has demonized on the campaign trail as greedy polluters and exploiters of the little guy. She hired herself out, this champion of the working class, in 1995 as a legal gun for LTV Steel to help that conglomerate fight thousands of retired coal miners who wanted more health and pension benefits. She got $10,000 in that case. Also defended the insurance giant Travelers against asbestos victims. So here she is representing her corporate Wall Street clients that she denounces in the campaign without a law license. Law firm of Simpson, Thatcher, and Bartlett still trying to figure out how in the world they listed her as of counsel when she wasn't licensed to practice law. And she's admitted it. Now comes ABC News. That was the Boston Herald and Investors Business Daily. Okay, fine. Now comes ABC News. Headline: Massachusetts Senate race, Elizabeth Warren represented coal mining company. Now, just so you get the right frame of mind here, there is no, well, maybe oil, but there's almost no worse epithet you could throw at a Democrat than that they represented a coal company. That's about as low as it can get. This is ABC News. This is the headline. Here's the article. Elizabeth Warren, the Democratic nominee in the hotly contested Massachusetts Senate race, worked on behalf of a coal mining company in a bankruptcy case in the 90s. This is the same LTV Steel. And it's called LTV Steel, but in this case they were talking about coal miners. So now ABC News picks up the story that's been rattling around now for about a week. This is like Hillary Clinton admitting today, okay, it was Al-Qaeda. We were just kidding about the video. How does Elizabeth Warren explain working with corporate Wall Street clients, pocketing over $212,000 in legal fees without being a licensed lawyer? Typically, she says, well, she glosses over the licensed lawyer thing, and she says, in case of the work with Travelers Insurance, she worked with a company on a case where it was seeking protection against future claims, but part of the agreement in the case would have unlocked a $500 million settlement fund for asbestos victims. In other words, I took care of the people who were already proven to be a problem with asbestos, but I closed the door to any future claims. Something like the Paul Ryan issue on Medicare if you're under 55. Not that ABC News makes that analogy, of course. Wouldn't ask him to do that. Then, it turns out that after Warren got them to agree, Travelers Insurance to agree to that, that part of the agreement fell through, says ABC News, when Travelers won another case allowing it to avoid paying the victims. In other words, Warren pocketed the money and then didn't get the result that she advertised later that she got. This gets worse. I mean, the more you try to explain this stuff, the worse it gets for her. Warren's campaign not only still says she's a Cherokee, but it continues to say that she's fighting for the little guy. I just don't know how you square in Massachusetts the rhetoric of this campaign with the reality of this sleazy candidate. I mean, it's not hardly. So proud to live, so proud to die. And a Wall Street corporate lawyer without a license to boot. Scott Brown's got to win this thing. We'll be back after this.